Hi guys, it's Brianna Gilpin with DS News and M Report. Today we are sitting in with Camillo Melchiorre, president of IndieSoft. How are you?
Good, thank you.
So tell me a little bit about what you've seen so far today. You were just in the foreclosure lab. What are some of the big takeaways?
Well, some of the takeaways, I think we once again see the industry rallying together to react to a tragedy. It was done during the financial crisis, and now with these natural disasters, I think you see every sector in the industry coming together to provide relief for the consumers affected. This is a problem that's going to last for some years. People have lost their homes, people are going to have to repair homes, and it's going to take a considered effort, not just by the government, but by industry players, lenders, servicers, attorneys. And I think that's one of the most rewarding things I've seen is how people really rally around it, not just because they have to, because they want to.
So one of the things that our president and CEO, Ed Delgado, was talking about yesterday at the Force Rally is that we might be seeing some little regional microbubbles, especially in the Houston area, whenever this moratorium ends, that we're going to see that spike in foreclosure. What do you think on that subject?
I think, number one, I think the investment community and the regulators are out ahead of it. So there are regulations now requiring moratoria by some of the local jurisdictions. Fannie and Freddie both have issued guidelines on loss mitigation for people affected. I know from a technology standpoint, Hope Loan Port, which is a platform that connects housing counselors and consumers to the servicers, they've made enhancements to accommodate people who have been affected by the disaster. I don't think there's any question that you're going to see spikes in the delinquencies and possibly the foreclosures. But I think if there's anything that we can say as an industry, a lot of the lessons learned during the Great Recession can be applied to what we're doing today. And I think that's why you see kind of a quick response by everyone, and a unified response. So you don't hear like one investor saying one thing and another one waiting. We all jumped once the bell was rung.
We had discussed this in previous conversations, but when we're talking about the digitalization side of things, how hard is it for people to stay compliant in an industry that's changing so fast?
Yeah, it isn't easy, and that's where really technology can assist them. Most of the companies that provide compliance technology or vendor management technology, they have to be up to date on the regulations to provide a good service. So, there's no question that it's difficult for the servicing industry, but it's also opportunistic for technology providers.
Absolutely. Well, just kind of as a wrap up, this is my first conference. It's been great, but how many conferences have you been to now?
700.
700. No. Wow, I didn't know we've been around that long.
That was I've been around longer. I actually dealt with Noah's flood disaster, so
gotcha. That had been bad on foreclosures too.
Yeah, it really that 2 homes were foreclosed on. But look, there's a couple components that come into play. These conferences are really most popular when there is a high delinquency rate. However, I think there's been a lot of energy here and a lot of focus on things like the disaster, and a lot of I think reasonable expectations that underwriting guidelines have loosened up, and we'll probably see increases in frequency and severity over the next couple of years. And while we don't like to see that from how it affects the consumer, the industry, I think, will be in position to respond.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. It's a pleasure as always. Thanks, guys, for tuning in.